Welcome back to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. I'm your host, Nidhi, and I'm back with another episode where we will explore how automation and how targeted strategies can revolutionize member engagement and retention, particularly within member based organizations. Joining us today is Farhad Khan, the visionary behind Member Lounge, who has dedicated over 15 years of enhancing member based organizations through innovative web solutions. Farhad's expertise in creating platforms that simplify membership marketing and engagement has transformed how organizations interact with their members. With Farhad's insights, we are set to uncover actionable strategies that can significantly boost member interaction and organizational growth. Hello, Farhad. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me. Busy day, but I'm glad we're here. We're doing this.
Farhad, it's fantastic to have someone with your kind of specialized expertise in membership and membership sites and community engagement here with us. Your innovative approach to automating and enhancing membership and experiences is something our listeners, many of whom led or are involved in member-based organizations, will find incredibly valuable. So, Farhad, let's talk about your journey to Member Lounge. How you have built a remarkable career around enhancing member-based organization. What inspired you to start Member Lounge, and how did your previous experiences shape your approach?
It's partly by accident. I wouldn't say it happened by design, but what happened is that I had a previous company before called Gripe Digital, and then at
Mm-hmm.
that previous company, it was more like a development shop where we were building custom websites for people. And
Mm-hmm.
while we were building many websites, at one point we started working with many associations organically because we are in Ottawa, and then Ottawa is kind of like the hub of associations in Canada.
Yeah.
So if you live in Ottawa, it's impossible that you. So two things you cannot avoid living in Ottawa: you have to work for the government. You have had to work with a company called North Hill, and the number
Yes.
thing you have to work with some association somewhere. So all these three things happened to me. One of them being like working with associations. So
Mm-hmm.
then during the career at the dev shop, we used to build websites for associations, and then over time we realized that the one area where clients were actually having a lot of challenge were with their membership websites. So their like normal website is fine, but the membership websites were a challenge for them. So we started
Mm-hmm.
building membership websites for them again and again. And something that we realized a couple of years back was that even though we were giving a lot of our clients really like powerful, great, like really good membership websites, they wouldn't know how to use the websites well. And then like it dawned on us a couple of years, I think 3 years ago, that giving our clients the technology was not enough because they were not great at marketing in general to their members. So then we started teaching workshops on how to market to your members better. So then
Mm-hmm.
we started our webinars, and then we did lots of workshops. I have trained over 50 associations on how to generate better member engagement for their memberships. And then like we realized that, hey, you know what? All the things that I'm teaching people, training people on the workshops, if we just build an app that can automate all of this, then people won't
Mm-hmm.
even have to come to the trainings. We can give them the tool, and it can be a product of our company. That's how Member Launch came to being. So we launched Member Launch, I think like early last year. So we were on beta before, so we had the product, but we didn't go public. We were
Mm-hmm.
testing it with our like close clients, and then
Mm-hmm.
we launched like live like early last year.
Mm-hmm.
So the product is very new, but we are getting tremendous traction. Our platform is being used over 1,000 pharmacies in Canada for through the pharma associations, including Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, Walmart. They're all using our platform to connect like the pharma community overall. So
Mm-hmm.
we're getting so much traction right now that we are super excited. We are raising an investment round right now. So it's crazy. There's so much going on, but it's so exciting at the same time.
That's amazing. So, Farhad, can you share a pivotal moment that significantly influenced your professional path?
Yeah, so there are a few, but I think there was one area couple of years back. I think it was 5 years ago when we were working on our dev shop. The company was called Gripe. The company is
Mm-hmm.
still there. So when I was working at Gripe, I started working with a mentor. There was a friend of mine who said that, hey, Farhad, like you guys are doing great work at the agency at the dev shop. You have to talk to this one guy who is an amazing mentor for agencies like yours. His name is Brent Weaver, and his company recently got acquired by DigitalOcean, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad and so fortunate to have had the chance to work with like Brent back then. But one thing that happened working with Brent is that like he told me that whatever work that you are doing, you have to make sure you completely niche down on your service and like whatever you're doing to one segment, one target market, solving one specific problem and be the best in the world at that. I had a lot of inertia when I heard that at the beginning that, hey, you know what, like if there's another great client who comes to us and asking for a website, I don't want to say no to them. But they were like, no, you have to say no to those so that you can be better at the thing that you want to grow at, right? So then I think like 5 or 6 years ago, we decided that we are only going to build membership websites and nothing else, right? So that was a pivotal moment for my career and for me overall, because what happened is that when we made that decision, it was a very difficult decision over a couple of months, right? So we had to change our website to say we only do membership websites, nothing else, right? I had to kind of like teach our team that like anytime you get a website contract or anything, do not just respond. Make sure that they're an association, they are a member-based organization. Make sure that they are kind of like they're looking for a membership portal. But then like the moment we made that switch, a number of things happened. So we started our own podcast. We started doing our own webinars, and then the messaging on our webinars and the messaging on our podcast, everything changed. Everything changed, and then over time, we started digging deeper into that one area, and we became the thought leader in that one space. Over within a year and a half, we became a thought leader because we dug so deep into that one topic, and then people coming to us or looking for like a content like on Google in general, like by default, we were the top ones that were coming up in Google and everywhere else, right?
Yeah.
So what I would say the pivotal moment here is the power of niching, right? So like making yourself the best in the world at solving one problem for one market. I think that was a pivotal moment. And then if we did not do that back then, our product member launch today would not be here today, and we would not have the traction we have today.
That's amazing. And your journey is a testament to how your passion that is aligned with purpose can create impactful solutions. So, Farhad, let's talk about automated features.
Mhm.
Automation plays a crucial role in today's membership management. How does Member Lounge can make membership management easy and effective for organizations?
Yeah, that's a great question. And like, if only more of our clients asked us this question and ask themselves that question, right? How can we use automation more? So I think there are a few things here, right? So um, the nonprofit world associations are nonprofits, but they're the affluent nonprofits. They actually have more money, they have more budget because they're like funded not by the government, but they're funded by the members. So there's member
Yeah.
revenue that is coming in all the time. They also get lots of sponsorships because the sponsors want to connect with the members, right? So the associations are the most well-funded nonprofits out there right now, right? So associations, they have the budget, so they can move fast, they can do things. But like one challenge is that since they have that nonprofit mentality, they do not adopt all the for-profit business ideas, for-profit marketing tactics automatically. So any idea that will work for a business, they wouldn't assume that, you know what, like we are a business and it'll apply to us as well. They will not assume that. As a result, their marketing is behind, their technologies are a little behind, and then the way they do their work is a little different as well at the same time. So one thing that we have done is that we took all the best practices in customer success, customer engagement from the Silicon Valley startups, right? So whatever, say, a company like Slack would do for their audience engagement, their customer
Yeah.
engagement, whatever they would do to kind of like grow their membership, we have taken all those ideas and we have applied those to our member launch product, and we brought it to the nonprofit market, right?
Mm,
Which was not there before. So the idea that we are kind of like using, the idea that we are applying on member launch is not revolutionary. It's been there for a long time,
for a
right?
long time.
But they haven't been applied in a way specifically for the association market, for the association membership segment in general. That's what we did. And while doing that, what we realized is that a lot of the associations, they actually have a very lean marketing team. So they don't have a lot of time in marketing because they're spending so much time in member support and they're spending time creating content. And these associations are actually, they're like a content powerhouse. You cannot imagine the amount of content they produce because they have partner webinars, they have sponsor webinars. They're publishing a magazine, maybe a monthly or a quarterly magazine, right? They have papers, they're like doing research for advocacy, right? So they have tremendous amount of content. But imagine you're sitting on this content gold mine, but you're
Yeah.
not able to like get the most traction. You're not marketing your content well. So the key thing that we realized is that like unless we solve the marketing problem for them in a way that marketing becomes automated or semi-automated for them, right? So they are not going to get the traction. So what we did on our platform is that we let our clients focus on their content. So say they have a research paper that they're publishing just now. So the one click of a button, they publish the research paper on our member launch portal, and we take care of the complete marketing for them. So we would send out automated email notifications to the members that, hey, this is here. Member launch platform has like a Facebook like timeline on the center. So any member logging in will actually see that research paper right at the front or like at the top right away. So, and then we have a lot of marketing automation happening behind the scenes with any content. So anytime
Yeah.
a association will actually post any event, any content, or anything that is happening there, maybe a job, a member job, right? Whenever they're posting something, we have excelled in marketing automation for that, right? So that they do not have to create another email campaign to promote the content that they already have. So I think this is the one area that is key for member engagement. And think of it this way: if you did not use a tool like Member Lounge, you probably have to hire a marketing person. You'd pay the
Yeah.
person $60,000-$70,000, right? Train the person on marketing, and the person will probably be average, probably may not be great, can be great, like you do not know. But then it will still be a lot of manual work. You know, the
Yes.
marketing person will still have to do a lot of manual work. They will still have to manually write the emails. It's painful, right? And then there's a lot of work involved. So we're kind of like automating that entire like marketing member engagement piece for the association members.
So I would definitely say that it is clear that effective automation not only saves time, but also enhances member engagement, right? So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I just want to like add one more thing to this. I had a call with a pharma association that day, and here we are like building crazy AI features on Member Lounge, crazy complex features. And I have this call with this client. I asked her, "Hey, Ali, can you please tell me what was the aha moment when you realized that Member Lounge is really working for you, right? When you
yeah.
deployed Member Lounge, what was the aha moment?" She was like, "You know what? Like aha moment was like pretty simple. I got the aha moment right away. So I had this publication that was a like a pharma fee guide, and I uploaded the fee guide on the portal. And the day after, I started getting emails about it. I was like, hey, I didn't even send out an email blast about it. I haven't told anyone that it's there. How are people knowing?" And then it dawned on me. She was saying that anyone who logged in on that day saw the timeline feed that I posted this, and everyone actually got back to me right away. So that was my aha moment, that I don't have to do so much crazy marketing anymore. I just post the content and people know about it.
That's great. So, Farhad, let's take a moment here. For all of you running and involved in member-based organizations, think about the automation tools Farhad has discussed. How could implementing similar tools in your operation streamline your processes and free up time to focus more on member engagement and growth? It is about working smarter, not harder, to maximize your impact and reach within your community. So, Farhad, let's talk about engaging younger members. So, engaging younger members is always a challenge, like many of our listeners always face. So, what tactics have you found most effective in attracting and retaining younger demographics?
Yeah, so I think like if you want to like talk about this, I have to like take a step back and talk about the research a little, you know, like what research we have based our like solutions on. So there are a number of research on engaging younger members and a lot of surveys, but like a few things that are very pivotal. So number one, in neuroscience research, they have shown that since the Gen Z, like the younger member, Gen Z grew up with a lot of like technology and social media around them. So
Yeah.
they grew up with a lot of like interruptions from all around, right? Different parts of their brain have grown in different ways compared to the previous generations, right? So and because of that, the younger member Gen Z, they are much faster in consuming and producing content. So you see that younger kids, that you give them an iPad, they learn it very, very quickly. How are
Yeah.
they able to do that? It's evolution happening in reality. So we are seeing
Yes.
evolution happen. So meaning younger members can actually connect with online tools, online technologies, and everything else very, very quickly. They are much more comfortable with technology, online tools, like more than the millennials and the boomers or like the Gen Xers, right? So we need to make sure that since they have that upper hand with technology, you have to use technology to get to them. That's
Yes.
one piece, right? So that is like a given. You cannot avoid that in any way, right? But say that you have solved that problem. You have online portals, you have online means of communication to engage members. But then there are other like other places where there are disconnects. So one key area is that younger members actually respond better to shorter form content as opposed to long form content, right?
Yeah.
So what you would have to do is that you can still keep your long form content. You need to like spend the time to produce the long form content, like this podcast we are doing right now. This is probably
Yeah.
a 30-40 minute like podcast in general,
Yeah.
but then a younger member will be unlikely to kind of like listen to the whole podcast episode in one shot, right? So what we would have to do is that after we record the podcast like this, if you can maybe create little clips, bite-sized clips that can be 1 minute YouTube videos, can be like TikTok clips, you know,
Yeah.
short video clips or like short content that you can drip out to people over time,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
that will really engage younger members. And what you can do is that Again, like I hate to paint people with a broad brush. Like not all Gen Zers are same, right? So there are many savvy Gen Zers as well, right? So I would strongly encourage you to kind of like not paint with a broad brush in general. You'll see that there are different personalities, and I actually have Gen Zers in my team as well, and I see
Yeah.
that like right away. That's like different Gen Zers are actually different. So what you have to do is that you have to use the short form content as the hook to your long form content, right? So you post the teaser, the short form content, the highlights, and then link it back to your long form content at the same time, so that like if it's like a savvy Gen Zer, they can still find the long form content and they can engage with your material, right?
Yeah.
So this has worked really well. Another key area that we have found is that whenever you're trying to engage the members, a great way to engage members is through volunteer opportunities, right? So if
Yes.
you have like events, if you have like webinars or other opportunities, you want to invite volunteers from the Gen Z community, you have to make sure that you're not asking for a long-term commitment, right?
Yes.
So if you're asking for a one-year commitment, you have lost them already, right? So you have to define short engagement
Short.
opportunities, right? So maybe there's an webinar coming up and you want someone to be the webinar like community manager during the webinar. It's one webinar, one event, clearly define what's expected, have a document outlining what is expected from the volunteer, right? Tell them that, hey, we are looking for someone to volunteer on the next webinar. Can you join? Let them
Yeah.
come in, right?
Yeah.
So the idea here is that as opposed to a long-term commitment, make it well-defined, a very short commitment, right? Where the person actually has like an instant gratification. They
Yeah.
come here, they engage with the community, they feel happy about it, and then they see how great it is, so that they can come back for more. And another big part is that I think like there's more Gen Zers coming into the workforce in the next couple of years, and then the previous generation is kind of like going out slowly. So two things are happening. I think millennials are moving from employee roles to management roles. Like I'm a
Yes.
millennial myself, right? So millennials are moving from employee to management roles, and more Gen Zers are entering the workforce. So millennials have to understand like how to do management better, right? And Gen Zers have to understand how to be more effective in their work. So in producing our content, uh, a lot of the people that we work with, they're actually not even millennials. They're probably beyond that, right? So they're like Gen X or they're like boomers. So boomers and Gen X, they actually have a difficult time creating content for millennials and like Gen Zers. So there, I see that like between millennials and Gen Zers, there's a continuum, right? So continuum meaning like there are people like who are millennials but they behave like Gen Zers. There are Gen Zers who behave like millennials, right? So you have to make sure that when you're creating content, you have to create content across that spectrum.
Yes.
Don't focus on Gen Z alone, right? Across the spectrum of Gen Z and millennials together. So
Yeah.
this is something that we have found in our research, and that is like working really well for member engagement.
Yeah, I think it will be very, very rightly to say that understanding and catering to younger members is like it's very crucial for the longevity of any organization,
Yeah.
right? So, Farhad, as we turn our focus to marketing right now, it is evident that creative and well executive strategies are vital for nurturing and expanding membership ideas and membership bases. What top marketing strategies would you recommend to attract new members?
Yeah, so that's a great question as well, and we get this question a lot from our clients in general. So, for attracting members, I guess a few things are very important. First of all, when members are coming to your association or your organization for the very first time, like don't expect them to sign up right away. Like that is not going to happen, So don't even try that, right? So you have to ask for the right thing at the right time. So when a member is coming to your association, the first like touch point you will have with the member is probably on your website, right? So you need to make sure that your website homepage really clarifies like
Yes.
what's in it for the member, right? We have a like a website formula that we use in general. So like if you use the website formula, you can watch one of my videos on YouTube like to know more about that. But that website formula kind of like is very powerful in attracting the member to give you, so they give you their email address, and then you capture that email and you can market to them in the future. But beyond that, something that you should do is that whenever a new prospect is coming to your website or coming to you, you have to give them a teaser of what it is like to become a member in the long term, right? You have to give them a free teaser. And the teaser can be in a number of different ways. So some teaser that I really like is that if you can give them some free downloads of the materials that you already have on the website. So say you have a resource library and then you know that like these three materials are very popular, then give those three items away for free, like make them downloadable content on the homepage so members can come to the homepage, and then they can download the content for free. So they see what it will be like to be a member, and then they will get access to the whole resource library. That's one way. So you're giving them a teaser. Another great way would be to have some free events for your members. So association will often have events that are only for their members, right? But then they will not open up the events for their prospects. So
Yes.
what we strongly recommend is that if you do want to preserve the events as premium content for your members, that's fine. But every couple of months, maybe every month or every other month, hold one event where you will actually let the free community come and join, right? When they come and join your free event, they will see what it is like to be part of the community. They will see
Yes.
like firsthand, right?
Yeah.
You will collect their email for further marketing, and they will know that if I join as a member, I'll actually get a lot more value out of it. So I think like these two tactics are like mind blowing. So just giving them free downloads from the material that you already have, and then holding free events where the members can come and see what it is like to be a member.
So I think it is very rightly to say that the strategy with the teaser and the free downloads and some of those free events for members based only. So those kind of strategic marketing is foundational in building a thriving member community.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so now let's reflect on what Farhad mentioned about the importance of understanding your members' journey. For everyone listening, how well do you think your current marketing strategies align with the actual needs and behaviors of your potential members? Maybe it's time to revisit your tactics, ensuring that's not only creative but also deeply aligned with your target audience's preferences and expectations. So, Farhad, now let's talk about your contribution to the industry. So your contribution to the association industry are well recognized. What impact have these contributions had on your professional community?
Yeah, so I think like this is it's mind blowing. We launched our podcast I think a couple of years ago, and then I did not even realize how many people were listening to our podcast.
Yeah.
So and then particularly because our podcast was spread across a number of different platforms, so people come from different areas. So some watch on YouTube, some on LinkedIn, some on the audio version only, right?
Yeah.
And then some from our email from our website directly. So
Mhm.
last year, I think last summer, I went to an event in Toronto, the CSA Summer Summit. I went to an event, and then yeah, there was someone talking to me in the event. I just like bumped into that guy, and then he was we were talking, and then like he was saying, Farhad, your voice somehow is very familiar. Like, have we met before? I'm like,
Mhm.
no, we haven't met before. I
Mhm.
don't remember your name. And then after talking to him for I think like 30, 40 minutes, he's like, hey.
Mhm.
You're the person from the Member Launch podcast, right? I'm like, yes. I listen to your podcast all the time. So here I
That's
am.
oh
I
wow,
met this
small
random
world,
person.
small world.
Small world, exactly right. So that's when I realized that oh my god, like our podcast is actually making a difference. And then like
Yes.
a random person who I never met before, and then I bump into him and he's listening to my podcast. So there's that happened, and then like later on, what happened is that like in the association community there was another association consultant who actually reached out to me, who actually said that like Farhad, like I we truly appreciate the work that you're doing because
Mhm.
in me as a consultant, like I can use your material as thought leadership material, like value material to go to my clients and tell them, hey, you know what, there is this strategy that Member Launch is doing. You can see it on the podcast, on the webinar, and I do the same thing so I can help you do this better. So another consultant using our material to kind of like help their clients better. Again,
Uh-huh.
that was mind blowing. They're not using our platform, right? But the ideas that we are sharing in the community, in our
Yes.
content, is
Mhm.
very powerful for them. So
Mhm.
there's that for sure. Plus, at the same time, we have over 100 people coming to our webinars and events like every week, right? So sorry,
Mhm.
every month. So every month, over 100 people, like, and all of them are decision makers in the association world. I think that says something, right? So meaning
Mhm.
like this broad audience, they're actually getting a lot of value from the content that we are creating. So
Mhm.
I think we are doing something great. So beyond the technology platform, the
Mhm.
content that we're creating actually are helping a lot of people.
And I think that's what we are also trying to do from our podcast as well, just to get the great content and the like knowledge and the information for our audience also. So that is, I think that's what the main point like we are also trying to achieve as well through our podcast. So I would say that your dedication to sharing knowledge has doubtfully enriched the broader industry. So Farhad, before we conclude, can you share one piece of advice for our listeners who are striving to enhance their membership strategies?
Yeah, so I think like if you want to improve your marketing with your community, with your audience in general, I think So there are like two things that are very important, right? So first of all, if you are trying to be anything and everything for everyone, you will not be able to like grow like a big business,
Yes.
or you will not get crazy you will not get crazy traction, right? So you have to make sure that you find your niche, and finding your niche doesn't mean you have to provide like a very high quality product, right? You have to kind of like meet what the market needs, right?
Yes.
So sometimes you will create like a crazy good product or crazy good service, but the market doesn't actually have the need for that, or they will not be able to pay for that. Then that doesn't make sense anymore. So you have to make
Yeah.
sure that number one, you define a very good niche, find like a very small market segment where you can provide the best value, best service. So that niche is very, very important. Make sure that you define that niche really well. That's number one. And once you have done that, you have to make sure that you make yourself the thought leader in that market in any way you can, right? Maybe do webinars, maybe do podcasts, maybe hold in-person events, whatever you want. You need to make sure that you are producing expert content. Like today, what we are finding, like content is gold. Content
Yes.
was gold 10 years ago. Now it's even more. And what we are finding is that there's a lot of superficial content out there, right? But deep content where someone can take the content and actually use the content to their work like day to day, like take action immediately. That kind of content is very powerful, and there aren't a lot out there right now. So if you can niche down really well, and if you can produce content to truly help your members, truly help your clients, right, that will be mind blowing. I'll give you one quick tip that actually helped us a lot, like long back. So on our webinar, so whenever someone signs up for our webinar, we have a field on the sign up page. Please submit one question you have on this topic, right?
Yes.
So then anyone signing up for our webinar will submit one question they have on the topic. And imagine if 100 people are actually signing up to our webinars every month, we get 100 questions every month, right?
Yes. Yes.
Times 12, we have 1200 questions. So over the years, we have thousands of questions, right, that
Questions.
we have
Yeah.
actually gathered over time. These questions helped us understand how our audience thinks. What is
Thanks.
the pain point? What are the problems, right? So this helps us in a number of different ways. It helped us to produce better content. So the next webinar topic, what will it be, right? The webinar topics directly come from the members' questions, whatever
Yes.
they have
Yes.
submitted before. On our product, we can do a quick like statistics to see what are the top challenges members have, right? What should we build next on the product? There's that. And then also some problems that clients are like throwing to us, we don't even know what the solution is. But once we know that question is there, we
You
dig deeper to
think.
find the solution, right? We have
Yes.
to think about it, right? And then
Yes.
we think of a solution, we share that with our audience. So it became like what do you call it, like it's more like a flywheel effect, right? So you start doing this, you learn more, and then the more you like get deeper, the more you get better, and the more traction you get with your audience. So content generation and niching is a gold mine. You have to start that if you're not doing it.
Thank you so much, Farhad. And I believe all your such valuable insights are amazing for all our listeners who are thinking about those membership strategies and thinking about joining those membership bases for their organization. Thank you so much, Farhad, for that. So, from automating membership processes to engaging the next generation and innovating marketing strategies, Farhad's experience. It provides us a roadmap for success in member based organizations. Our special thanks goes to our exclusive partners, RBC, our exclusive banking partner, UPS, our exclusive shipping partner, Zero, our exclusive accounting software partner, Constant Contact, our exclusive email partner, and IHG, our exclusive hospitality partner. Their support is crucial in bringing you the rich content that helps your business thrive. For more insights and to keep up with the latest trends, don't forget to subscribe to Canadian SME Small Business Magazine at www.canadiansme.ca. Keep growing, keep innovating, and join us next time for more enriching conversations.